Hi, welcome to What's the Word? I'm your host, Jamie McFadden, and I'm so excited to have you here. This podcast is about all things wellness. Each week, we will focus on a word of the day, and I interview some of the most inspirational people I know and share that inspiration with you. Join me, let's learn together on What's the Word.
This is the place where I belong.
Hi, and welcome back to What's the Word? I'm your host, Jamie McFadden, and today we have another solo episode for you. I am so excited. The amount of love that you guys have been giving is just incredible. I want to thank you so much for subscribing to the podcast wherever you get them and making sure to leave that 5-star review so we can keep continuing to push and promote and play more content just like this. This is a perfect one if you are driving in the car or maybe you just want to head outside for a quick walk. So whatever it is, get yourself in the zone. We're going to focus on one of my favorite words. The word is discipline today. Yes, you heard me correctly. We're going to focus on my 5 steps for having better self-discipline so that you can enhance your self-care with these 5 steps. So here's the deal. Discipline. It's key to having a healthy lifestyle. And oftentimes we're so busy and we're so used to the immediate gratification. And today we're going to focus on a little bit of delayed gratification. So when you hear that word discipline, how does it make you feel? Just notice what comes up in your body when you think about self-discipline, self-regulation, and maybe it's something that you do want to work on right now. I think it's something that we can all work on all of our life. And no matter what, there's always areas in our life that we want to enhance. So I'm going to focus today on these 5 steps. And I'm going to give you some tangible things that you can be doing to enhance your self-care. I definitely want to hear from you after this podcast. So once you're done with it, go in, drop me a DM or a comment, and let me know how you're enjoying these solo episodes. So let's get right into it. Discipline is all about doing the things that you need to do, regardless of how you feel in the moment about it, right? So a lot of things can come to mind. Maybe you have a project that's due and you're just not feeling it. Maybe it's that workout that's like really early in the morning, or maybe it's just something with your kids, or you're just not feeling it. But having that discipline is so key. That is what's going to set apart being productive and being procrastinating. So if you want to be more productive in your life and you want to be able to enhance and take steps to feel better in all areas, discipline is truly such a key. It's really the base of taking responsibility. So as many of you may know, everything I do in my life revolves around self-care. My book, which we hit #1 bestseller, I can't even believe this still. Thank you all so much for your support there. But Waves of Self-Care, subtitle, It Takes a Village, is the book that I wrote all about every area of self-care. All of my years of studying with therapists and doctors and trainers and all sorts of experts in different fields about self-care and debunking this myth that we're supposed to do it alone. Yet one of the biggest key takeaways that I hope you get from this episode today, as well as you will definitely get in my book, is that we must take responsibility for our life. It is up to you and it is up to me to accept the responsibility. Things are going to happen in our lifetime over and over and over again that we don't like, or that totally suck, or that bring pain. Or on the flip side, we're going to have a lot of things that are really awesome if we choose to look at it that way. So when it comes to discipline, and specifically talking about our wellness and self-care, discipline is really about taking the responsibility so that you can create structure. And when you have that structure and you create systems in your life, then all of a sudden things begin to flow better. And when they don't flow and a wave crashes into you, you have support and key takeaways that you can use because you have discipline to keep going, right? So I want you to think about that today. How can you take a little bit more responsibility to have a little bit better self-discipline in maybe just one small area of your life? And we'll get to these 5 steps in just a moment, but I want to share with you the truth that I myself was probably the least disciplined person that I knew growing up. I wasn't disciplined about moving my body or exercise for that matter. I was terrible at sleeping and had insomnia for years. I certainly did not eat healthy, and I had every kind of stomach issue you could imagine. And looking back on it now, having that discipline, which was god awful to establish, right? It wasn't something that I enjoyed doing, but the delayed gratification over time became this compound effect in my own life. And I recognized that by having those structures and being able to say no in the short term so that I could say yes in the long term actually enhanced every area of my life. And not only did it make my life better, but then as I got into the health and wellness industry, it was the most immediate way to help support every single one of my clients reaching their goals. So here are my 5 steps for establishing a little bit better self-discipline so you can truly step into your authentic power and start living your life with more intention for more self-care. And number 1, this goes without being said. This is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. I do this multiple times a day. In fact, fun fact, I've been doing this with my daughter every morning on our way to school. She just started kindergarten, and every morning we have a rule in this house that we move our body. So it's typically a dance party. So number 1 step for self-discipline is move your body daily. Make this a non-negotiable. This does not have to be a 30 or 60-minute workout in the gym. This does not have to be some big production. But when you move your body, you are shifting energy, you're building strength, and you're nurturing the number 1 and only vehicle that you actually live inside, which then in turn is going to help you activate some happy hormones that will keep you moving. So think about this. When it comes to moving your body, wherever you're at in your life right now, think about just taking 10 minutes, 5 minutes even, and every single day commit that you're going to move your body in a way that feels good. Commit that every day. Go for a walk. You could do this podcast while on a walk and you're moving your body. So you're moving your mind and your body simultaneously. Boom, self-discipline. So number 1, move your body every single day. Number 2, establish realistic goals. So often we overpromise ourselves or others. We try to people please. We feel this pressure to do it all and be all. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to continuously be disappointed and let yourself and others down if you have too big of an idea of what you're capable of. So start to be realistic with yourself. Take some time today to establish SMART goals, meaning that they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, something that you know you can do. They're realistic and they're timely. Once you have SMART goals, then you can start to look at the big picture and create small disciplines and baby steps that will help you get there. So I want you to think about your goals, dissect them down, get as granular as you can, and just think about that one tiny little baby step that you can take today. So that's number 2, setting some realistic goals for yourself. Number 3, train your brain and then reward yourself. Did you know that our brain is wired to do whatever is comfortable? Think about your life right now. Notice some of the things that you do because they're comfortable, whatever it may be. But maybe those things are not helping you grow. For example, so many of us hit the snooze button so many times in the morning. We don't get out of bed. We don't jump out of bed oftentimes. Chipper McChipperson. That's taken me years to get to, and I want you to do that. But it takes baby steps. So start to think about your life right now and where's one area that you might be able to start retraining your brain, rewiring your brain. So our brain is wired to do whatever is comfortable. That doesn't mean good or bad. It just is what it is. It's habits, right? So think about the habits that you have on a daily basis. Maybe you're someone that you come home from work and immediately you just want to Netflix and chill. And I have nothing against that. However, I think oftentimes it gets in the way of some of the things that you really truly want to be doing. And so I just want you to bring some awareness to it. We'll talk about the wave system in a minute, but Think of today some of the things that you have that are just kind of not so great habits that you hold on to. Choose one of those today to let go of. At least start letting go of it. And then write it down, journal about it, talk it through. What can you do to create more self-discipline so that you aren't actually just going through the motions? Our brain has something really fascinating called neuroplasticity. This neuroplasticity is what allows us to shape and rewire the brain. We used to have the misconception that, after 5 years old, 90% of the brain is, it's settled in and that's it. You are who you are. Boom. You can't change anything. And now we've uncovered that that is not fully true. We can still create neuroplasticity within the brain, allowing it to be rewired and reshaped over time. We just have to do incremental steps and be consistent. We're consistent through discipline. So think about that. And then, of course, rewarding ourselves. Our brain, like our puppy or child or ourselves, loves to be rewarded. So when we have that feel good, oh, that was a good thing that I did right now, I'm going to do it again. We're more likely and motivated to do something when it feels good as opposed to when it doesn't feel good. So instead of forcing it, think of how you can just do a little bit of it today so you can feel better. Number 4, feed your brain and your body power foods. Believe it or not, food is such a huge part of our discipline. Food is truly our medicine, or it is our poison. And there are so many fad diets and so many trends. And I know there's so many different types of everything when you go to the grocery store. It can be absolutely confusing when something is labeled as healthy and then you look at the nutrition label on the back and there's 1,800 ingredients that you cannot read in it. It is very confusing and conflicting. However, think about yourself, your body, educate yourself, get your blood work done. Maybe meet with a nutritionist just one time so you can start to understand what it is that you actually need in your body. So many of us have deficiency, like vitamin D. So many of us are dehydrated, and we're lacking optimal nutrients in our body that we need. So believe it or not, just by feeding yourself and fueling yourself with high-powered foods and staying hydrated, you are then able to make better decisions and be more disciplined. So I challenge you today, try to color your plate as much as you can. Create a rainbow every time you eat today, and then check in with me, send me a picture. I would love to see it, because the more that we can get the macro and micronutrients into our body, the better we can make decisions that will enhance the rest of our day and our lives. Number 5, this one I can't emphasize enough. This one is something I see on a daily basis, multiple times a day, whether it's through getting DMs on social media, people that are training with me online, clients, past, present. This is just something I hear all the time, is stress. So number 5, when it comes to creating and cultivating better self-discipline, I want you to learn techniques of how to manage your stress. So luckily, things like therapy are becoming much less taboo these days. Where back in the day when I was an 11-year-old in a therapist's office, I remember getting made fun of. Whereas now, it's something that people are recognizing as, oh, this is a beautiful tool, just like going to the gym, that we can use to work out our emotions and understand where these traumas and things are coming from. Awesome. So whether it's going to talk to somebody or whether it's learning some tools of how to manage your stress, the time is right now. Stress is literally killing us. Stress is causing us to make terrible decisions, to be unwell in many areas of our lives. We live in a society that is high pressured, and we have all of these techniques that we're not really looking at right now. But when we're stressed, we're operating from what we call the sympathetic, the fight or flight, the being chased by a bear. That's how we're operating most of the time. We want to change that into the rest and digest, which is more of the parasympathetic nervous system. So when you, right now, wherever you are, take a big breath in through your nose. Hold that breath for a moment And then extra slowly exhale, releasing the entirety of that breath all the way out. Most of the time, we don't even fully exhale because we're in that sympathetic nervous system. We are oftentimes looking for the immediate gratification. You want something? Order it. It's at your door. And now it's like an hour, right? We aren't used to delayed gratification anymore. And that's cultivating a lot more stress in our lives. The text message, we feel like this need to reply immediately. Social media, we got to be checking all the time. Our email inbox, ding, ding, ding. We've got notifications after notifications. And that alone is creating more stress. So start to think for yourself today, where is most of my stress coming from? And then begin to, kind of like we did earlier with our exercise and our SMART goals, start to think about how you can incrementally, little baby steps, start to alleviate some of that stress. I'm going to give an example here. Just by taking deep breaths, you can switch from your sympathetic fight or flight stressed out zone into parasympathetic. And I want you to focus on something simple like that. So in our house, we have a word that whenever anyone is stressed, we say the word pineapple. If anyone says the word pineapple, by the way, my 5-year-old daughter came up with this. If anyone says the word pineapple, everyone around automatically has to stop what they're doing and take 3 deep breaths. It has worked wonders in my house with a 5-year-old who sometimes her emotions, as she would say, get in front of her. So us too. When was the last time that you just checked in with how you were feeling and then took some deep breaths to release whatever it was? Get a journal. Write things down, brain dump what's on your mind so you can start to get it out of your head and onto paper so then you can start to actually work through what the things are. So bottom line, self-discipline and willpower are muscles that you actually can train. When you push too hard, you need time to rest. And I want you to think about delaying gratification. So after you listen to this, just think about it through your day. So this is the act of kind of resisting. So instead of the impulse to take immediate action, think about self-regulating and taking a pause before you make those decisions. This is going to help with your self-control. This is going to help with your self-discipline. So once again, the 5 steps. Number 1, move your body daily. Even if it's just mini little bursts of movements throughout the day, that's going to help so much. Number 2, start setting some realistic goals for yourself. This is not New Year's Eve. We don't need to change our whole entire world right this very moment, but you can take one step towards the direction that you desire. Number 3, train your brain and begin to reward yourself. If you're thinking about making some changes, think about it has to start in your brain. You've got to believe it to achieve it. Number 4, feed yourself and fuel yourself with nutritious foods. Stay hydrated. Number 5, really learn how to manage stress. Find ways and techniques that work for you. There are so many out there. And the other 4 things leading up to number 5 are all going to help with that. So that is my 5 steps for better stress management. I am so thankful to have you be a part of What's the Word. This has been something I manifested many, many years ago. I wanted to start a podcast, and it's amazing to see what happens when we truly believe in our ability to manifest and then generate what we're manifesting based on our actions. So I encourage you today to take some time to think about your life. And if you don't yet know the WAVE system, I'm going to share that with you right now. The WAVE system is my personal self-care system that I have created, and I want to share it with the world, one person at a time, so that we can all start to use this 4-step system and enhance all areas of our life over time. So the number 1 in the WAVE system, which is our W, is well-being. When you think about any area of your life, ask yourself, what does it mean to be well? When we understand to ourselves what it means to be well, then we can take the next step, which is the A. The A is awareness. Awareness is meeting ourselves where we're at and understanding, okay, this is where I am today. Maybe I thought I was going to be here or there, but this is where I am. And that's the perfect place because that's where you're supposed to be right now. So coming to ourselves with awareness and meeting ourselves where we're at with love and compassion. That is the A, awareness. The next is the V in the wave system. The V is vision. Once we have clarity around what it means to be well, once we have awareness about where we're at, then guess what? It's actually pretty simple to start cultivating these visions and visualize what does it look like in order to do, be, see, or have these things. Then you can start to understand, oh, okay, I need to take a class here. Oh, okay, now I want to visualize this. I can paint this picture. I know kind of what it looks like now. And then last but not least, the most important of all is the E. Well, they're all important, but this one really, they all go together, but this one you need to make sure you're doing energy. This is your action. This is actually taking that responsibility through your actions to put energy forth on your vision, your awareness, and your well-being. So that, my friends, is the wave system. Thank you so much for joining me on What's the Word today. I hope you're enjoying these mini episodes as much as I am. Be sure to please subscribe. Maybe share this with a friend today. Let's inspire each other and continue moving and growing together. I have a new program that's going to be coming up soon, so be sure to get on my email list. Stay connected, drop me a DM, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining. That's What's the Word. Bye. Thank you for joining me here at What's the Word. Follow us on social media with the links on the screen, and don't forget to like and share with your friend. Your support helps us grow and continue to make inspirational content. See you next time on What's the Word.